What's going on, everybody? The goods on YouTube. I am back. Another 2K Street update. And right off the bat, we got some Nike off-white hoodies. And these are created by a user over on NLSC, Shorty_16. Big thanks to you for sending me these. He created those textures himself and sent them over to me to be added to the mod. So thank you for contributing. I really appreciate that. Next up, we've got, which I forget what the name of this team is, but it's Group 10. I believe it's Group 10. And they're wearing the shirts from Dominus's channel. So if you're familiar with Dominus, that's the team that he's going to be on. I accidentally exited out, so I had to get back in here. Now we're looking at the next group, which is going to be 2 Hype. I got Kyle Kuzma and JaVale McGee on 2 Hype, but I've also got some of the real 2 Hype members on this team. I don't have any 2 Hype merch, so I just hooked them up with some Nike gear, some random shorts. Let's do it. And that's group 11, 2 Hype. Now moving on to group 12. Group 12 is called Tubers. I like these outfits, these casual outfits the best because the shoes go with the pants, and I like both sets of pants, the white and the black, because they fade into like a purplish night sky type thing. Moving on to group 13, we've got a Kicksology shirt and JusBGood shirt. JusBGood, he does mods on JusBGood.com. His website is actually on the back of that shirt, and Kicksology is actually a shoe mod for PC, which adds a bunch of custom colorways that are not in the game, along with their actual real life designs that are not in the game originally. So yeah, I have both of those. And last but not least, I added another female team called the Squad for group 14. And as you can see on the right, they got some squad gear, and on the left they just got some generic gear. But yeah, I had to add in another team to get players like Breanna Stewart in there. So I will be uploading this roster. Hopefully, well, this roster is definitely gonna be online by the time you guys see this video. But you guys, when you get the roster, like, you see what I'm doing, you can just go through and, you know, edit the ratings to be whatever you want them to be, import player DNA that you want to be in the roster, move players around as you see fit. And in a second, I'll show you guys why you might want to move players around. What else can you do? Oh yeah, also in the description of this video, you will want to go and grab this download pack. I'll have the links to all the previous download packs as well as this current download pack, which adds all the clothes that I showed you guys at the beginning. So I'll show you guys what you might want to do with the roster. You guys might want to move players around and have them wear different clothes. All you got to do is just trade them to a different team so that they wear different clothes. So like, I'm going to take Dan Rue and go try to trade him to a different team. But the first team that it shows me he's already on, that's because I have some players on here multiple times. I meant to sprinkle a few players throughout a couple of teams a few times, just so you can see them in different clothing and stuff like that. But what ended up happening, as you can see right here, I've got Lethal Shooter on this team 3 times. Like, what ended up happening is I forgot to move some of them around, and some people are on the same team multiple times. So I'm just going to do some trading around right now. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And I've just got random NBA players sprinkled in here. You know, people you might want to play with, people you might not want to play with. I've got only a handful of fictional characters. So now you guys can feel free to fast forward the video or skip ahead, because I am talking about some other details that pertain to this roster later in this video. But oh yeah, Another way, if you guys want to view the clothes another way, you could just go in the edit player, go to shoes/gear, and just go to like home shoe and away shoe, and it'll show you their different gear for home and away. Also, if you're using shoe mods like Cashapp, you can make some pretty sick color combinations to go with the like you can make some pretty nice shoe and clothes combination. Let's see, if you're trading females, you want to make sure you trade them to a team of females, because females will not show up on male teams and males will not show up on female teams. So like this team right here, I actually have some males on it, which I need to get rid of. I'll show you. So there's a couple males on this team. If you actually try to pick these guys while they're on the female team, they would be invisible. So I'm gonna get rid of them. But when you guys download this, just remember, if you want to move females around, female characters and female players, just make sure you put them on a female team. But for right now, I've got to either delete these male players or release them to free agency, because they're not going to show up on the female team. So, all right, got rid of the males. And of course I added a couple of lower rated players for each team. Well, for most teams, just so you can kind of just mix and match. Maybe you don't want to play against a bunch of overpowered players. Maybe you want to grab a few players and then run against like some lower tier players, lower rated players. You can do that with this mod. Yeah, sorry guys if I'm boring you. I'm just trying to remember everything that's going on with this mod. I went over this mod a few times, but I've since made some updates. I'm trying to think. Of course, Dominus is in this. I made a character for Dom 2K. I keep forgetting to make a character for myself, but by the time you guys download this roster, I may add a character for myself. My next thing I'm going to do is, in this video, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load up the roster and show you guys how to use this updated V2, because I'm keeping it at V2 now. 2K Street V2 is just an updated version of V2. I'm going to show you guys how to use the Blacktop, the 2K Street Blacktop selector to change the courts along with this mod. So these go hand in hand. The Blacktop selector and this roster, they work perfectly together. Even though you don't need to use this roster to use the Blacktop selector, I think these go great together. So I went over the Blacktop selector earlier in the day today. There's another video on my channel. You will see it'll have a thumbnail that says Blacktop selector. But I went over that. So if you want like a really in-depth, detailed version of how to use that tool, then you'll have to go to that video. Maybe I'll link it in the description. There was something else I wanted to talk to you guys about. Oh yeah. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do next is I've got to add a bunch of fictional characters, because I've been going into the game and just creating fictional cyber faces, not in the in-game editor. Like I've been really creating realistic looking cyber faces, but they're not cyber faces for real players. So I've got to add those to this roster at some point, so everybody can just play around with different people, get a feel for this. I really want to add real life park players like Ticino and Z. Who's the other guy Ticino played with this year? Leave it down in the comments. I forget who it was, but I always remember Z. I want to add their little characters to this roster. Duke Dennis, want to add him to the roster. I don't really know any other playground players, but there's plenty of them. I see them all the time on YouTube streaming. I don't watch Twitch streams. I have in the past, but I really don't watch them that much. Well, I don't watch them at all anymore, but I used to watch Twitch streams. Anyway, I do want to add some of those characters. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to actually go in game. I'm sorry, guys. I should have told you guys. I was using the Blacktop selector to change up the Blacktop, so I don't have to use the default Blacktop. And I chose a high school. So if you actually rewind the video and go look at what I was doing on screen, you'll see all the things I changed to go to the high school. Oh yeah, and don't forget, on the Blacktop selector, you can choose what kind of basketball you want. Also, if you trying to think, how does it go? On the Blacktop selector, if you choose to play in the My Court, you can choose the rim color, the backboard type, all that stuff. So anyway, so now I'm in game, and I know I'm gonna have to. All right, I'm gonna have to quit out of this game. Well, I skipped ahead. You guys didn't see it. I quit out of the last game so that I didn't quit. I just went to rematch so that the game will run smooth. I don't know. If you're new to my channel, I might have to quit out of this game and do rematch again. If you're new to my channel, you might not know that when I first start up my game, my first game always runs choppy no matter what I do. So I don't know why that is, but whatever. Anyway, so the game is running smoothly. You guys got to remember, when you're using the Blacktop selector, you're probably going to have to change your camera settings every time you play on a different court, especially depending on how many people you're playing with and if you're playing full court or half court. So Little Pumps overall sucks in this roster, and I remember thinking that when he made this shot, but for whatever reason he actually plays pretty decent as a CPU. Like, the CPU plays pretty decent with him. I wasn't really paying attention when I was playing this game. I was just kind of messing around, trying to do different stuff, like this right here, right now I'm trying to get a thumbnail, just trying to find anything I can to possibly get a thumbnail. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Lil Pump, his rating sucks in this game, but for whatever reason the computer is pretty good with him. I'm not even on a high difficulty, and the computer was playing pretty good with him, so he must have some decent tendencies. Later in this video, you're gonna actually see him dunk on me. I think he dunked on me like 2 times, and I was like, what's going on? I thought I turned his dunk rating down, but apparently I didn't. But anyway, Chris Move is really good in this roster. The game is really good in this roster. I haven't played with any of the high rated female players in this roster. I've only played with like the female players that are rated in the 70. Well, I'll take that back. I played with Maya Moore. She's okay. But like Tiff and what's her name? Kaiser Gondrezic. Look right there. That's where he dunked on me for the game point. And his dunk package is super ugly too. But anyway, a link to this new update is in the description. The offline roster for this is in the description. You can also download this in game by just searching 2K Street V2. I've updated V2 in game, so check it out.